Thank you very much. So welcome to my presentation about visual UI testing with PERCY. Yes, at the beginning, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Maros Kutschy. I work as Senior QA Automation Engineer at NES. I'm located in Košice, Slovakia. Here you can find my LinkedIn profile, and in case of any questions or just want to contact with me, just ping me via LinkedIn. And I'm creator of Jaseku, Java Selenium Cucumber Automation Framework. Here you can find the link on the framework and the link on the blog. Basically, in my presentation, the slides will be from the framework which we are using in NES, but the demo will be from my Jaseku Automation Framework. At the beginning, I would like to start with two quotes, which I think are related to life in general, but also to testing and automation testing. So first one is from Winston Churchill. And Winston said that success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. In automation testing, we mostly talk about and work with failures. We have the nightly builds, and each morning we come and we start our day with analysis of the results. So there are some opinions that the builds should be always green and there shouldn't be any failures. But I think that if we don't have any failures, either we don't have good coverage or we have the tests which are missing some assertions. And I think the failures in automation tests are good, because if we have many tests, there always will be some failures, and there could be various types of failures, like the failure could be caused by the problem or the bug in the application, or there could be a problem in the tests, or there can be problem in the environment, some infrastructure. We have a lot of components in our application, the connection between them. So yes, failures are good. And I think we should have a fail test, and we should look at them, and we should look at each failure and always find a reason or a root cause what is causing these failures. So if we have failures, we are on the good way. Another quote is from Thomas Alva Edison, and he said that I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. And I think we can also apply this to automation testing, because in the world of automation testing, this is very dynamic. Always new tools are coming to the market. And I think we should always educate ourselves and try these tools, read about them, and do some proof of concept. We are living in the agile world, so we have like two-week sprints. And I think in each sprint, we should at least read something about a new tool, or maybe for a couple of hours dedicate to try a new tool, do a proof of concept. You have, for example, in Jira, the ticket for some POC for some new tool. I think the success is also when you find out that this tool is not suitable for you, because you know that this is not the way, and let's in next sprint try some other tool, read something about other tool and try it. And I think at the end of the day, we will find the right tool which is suitable for our project. So let's look at the agenda of my presentation. At the beginning, I would like to talk about functional testing versus visual testing. And then we will look at PERCY, the tool for visual testing, and how to integrate it into test framework. Then I will focus on PERCY UI, PERCY CSS, and I will summarize the advantages and disadvantages of this tool and the business impact on our project. Then also a little bit about supported SDKs and alternatives for PERCY from visual testing world. And then I will do demo, and then we can discuss the questions. So let's look on visual testing versus functional testing. Imagine that on your project, at your work, you have a task to validate hundreds of elements on the page. Basically, this was a situation on our project that we have internal application which is used by our front-end developers. It's like the repository of all the elements which are then used in other real applications for our clients. And the UI is very simple. You just have some menu and you collapse it and you see all the elements. So basically, there was a question if we can automate testing of this application, and if yes, which way we should go. So first option was to go for traditional functional testing approach. So yes, code many separate validations for each element on the page. So identify thousands of hundreds, maybe thousands of elements, and write assertions for each element and each attribute of the element. Or the second option was to use modern approach of visual testing and do just one validation for the whole page and do it for each page. We decided to go with the second option, and we decided to use a PERCY tool. On the PERCY page, you can see that creators of PERCY are saying that PERCY is a visual review platform, and it's external tool for visual testing, automated process of detecting and reviewing visual UI changes. So let's look what does it mean. So this tool tests UI in your browser and through pixel by pixel comparison. And in real life, how does it work? So you have some automation framework on your project, and in this framework, you just want on some place you have UI tests, and between some steps you want to do validation. So you use a code from the creators of PERCY, which will connect to the PERCY cloud, and on your computer it will just capture the DOM of your browser, and then it is sent to the PERCY cloud, and on their side it is rendered across the browsers, and then the magic happens on their side. They are detecting and highlighting the differences, and then you just review these differences. So basically this is how it works in simple steps. Let's look how to integrate it in the framework. We are using Java Selenium Cucumber framework, and it is a Maven project. So the main part of this framework is POM XML file, where you have dependencies on the other tools which you are using, like Cucumber, Selenium, and so on. And also, when you want to use PERCY, you just add new dependency. As we are talking about Java technology stack, but we don't have any TypeScript of Java or JavaScript. But for PERCY, you need to install Node.js from JavaScript world, and you also need to install PERCY agent npm package. Once you have this, you go to PERCY page, you create your account, and you create your project, and then in the project settings, you can file the PERCY token. Basically, this token is like a connection between your framework and your account, in order when you send the DOM of your UI from your browser, PERCY needs to know to which account and which project it should connect to the result. So it's via this token. So before running the test, you need to set this PERCY token. And then in your automation framework, you just create a new object of PERCY class. It's provided by creators of PERCY, and you just call the snapshot method where you send as a parameter the name of the screenshot. So very easy implementation. And then when you want to run your tests, we are running tests like Maven build. So we have Maven command, but it is not enough. You need to wrap this Maven command into npx PERCY exec command and run the test via terminal or via command line. If you are using, for example, JUnit or TestNG or Cucumber, you cannot run it as a Cucumber or JUnit or TestNG test, because the PERCY connection will be not executed. You need to wrap it into this command. So let's look how you can see the results on PERCY UI on their web page. So once your tests are finished, you can see this UI where the first column is the number of the build. Then you have the branch from which you are running it from your framework. Then, yes, you can see if there are some differences or not, and the status of the build can be basically for the first time when you run it, you just create the baselines. And then next run, when you run your test, it's the screenshots, actual screenshots are compared with the baselines. And if there are no changes, status is no changes. If there are some changes, but you didn't review them, status is unreviewed. Once you approve the changes, it's approved. And if there is any problem with rendering or creation, the screenshots, the status is failed. Here, if you open the build, you can see in this smaller part, just the high-level overview of the screenshot. And then in this main part, you can see on the left, the baseline, and on the right, you can see the actual screenshot. And in the red are highlighted the differences. Yes, for the first run, you can see there is like no baseline, so it's considered as a new snapshot. And here on the right part in the app, you can switch between the browsers on which it was rendered and the resolutions. There could be a question that when is a new baseline created? So basically, if you run the test from new branch, always it's a new baseline. Even if you have in Git like local branch and remote branch, they are considered as different branches. Also, if you change the name of the screenshot, which you send as a parameter to the method for creating screenshots, it's also considered as a new snapshot screenshot. Interesting feature is PERCY CSS. So imagine that you have some element which is changing each date, and you don't want to fail it each day. So you need to like somehow hide this element or say to PERCY that this part of the page, please do not validate it because it's changing. So this was also a case on our project where we have this calendar, which is changing each day and month each month. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to hide this title screen, title in green box. Also, we wanted to hide this month name and yes, the year between these arrows. And also we wanted to hide a circle of actual date. So how we can do it? Standard way, we need to identify the element, like on this screenshot. And then when you are creating screenshots, you need to create a variable with name PERCY CSS of type string, and put there the CSS of this element and also the action which you want to do. So you want to change visibility to hidden. And then when you are calling the snapshot method, you send this PERCY CSS as a parameter. And from that moment, PERCY will ignore, or basically the element will be, when rendered, on PERCY side, it will be hidden. It will be not rendered, so it will be not compared and considered as a difference. Yes, so this is a screenshot, yes, before we hide it. And here you can see that once we have implemented this PERCY CSS, on the right is actual screenshot, and you can see that there is no this day and date because it was hidden. Similar was with this blue circle over actual date. Also, we have found the element, and yes, you can see that we can send to this PERCY CSS variable more elements at once, and then send it to the PERCY method. And you can see that, yes, here you can see that on the right in actual screenshot, this blue circle was not there because it was hidden. Here are some examples what you can do with this element. So you can change the color, you can change the visibility, or change the display, maybe also other things. So basically, let's review the PERCY advantages. In free plan, which PERCY offers, is it's quite rich because you have 5,000 screenshots per month for free. So where you are doing also some bigger proof of concept, it will be enough for you to play with this and try it for free. Snapshots rendering was consistent and still is, so we haven't encountered any problems that PERCY was incorrectly considering the differences. Also, approval process is very easy. You just open the screenshot and click on approve. You can test on different resolutions, also browsers, and it's not depending on the screen size of your computer because it is rendered on PERCY Cloud. Yes, also there are some disadvantages. For example, if you are using Cucumber, you cannot see the result if the PERCY validation passed or failed, because there is no like feedback from PERCY sent to your framework if the PERCY validation was successful or not. You need to go to PERCY page and there check the results. And yes, also you can run it as a Cucumber test. You need to wrap it to the special PERCY exe command. For now, it supports only Chrome and Firefox, but I think also support for other browsers will come in future. And also, as you could see, if you want to capture just a part of the screen or exclude some parts of the screen from the validation, it's not so easy. You need to change the code and play a little bit with this identification of the elements. And if you want to debug on PERCY side this validation, basically it's external tool, so you don't have access to this. I would also like to review the business impact of using PERCY on our project. So visual testing, yes, was the only reasonable option, because if we didn't use visual testing, I don't think we would test it by automation tests, because writing many element identifications and assertions wouldn't be possible, I think. There is automatic feedback after each deploy of the application, because yes, these PERCY tests are running, and also you get it supports also Slack notification. So after finish of the PERCY build, you get the message into Slack channel if it is passed or failed, and you have the link there. And developers are more involved in testing, because yes, they are running it after the build, and they are checking the results, because they know the best if they change something in the UI, if it is like improvement or it is a bug, and they should fix it. Also, it has a motivational aspect on our team, because at the beginning it looked that it's very hard and challenging task, and we didn't know how to approach it. But yes, we found a solution which is working, so it was very good. Also, we have increased our automation skills with visual testing tools, and we are doing 400 PERCY validations during the build. So basically, we fully covered testing of this application. It's tested only via PERCY. Yes. And regarding supported SDKs, you can see that it supports almost all or main part of the tools. For us, it was important that Selenium was supported. And yes, we can also a little bit talk about what alternatives are there on the market. Yes, you have many free tools or libraries, which basically just compare the screenshots, but you need to create the screenshot files on your own. You need to update them on your own. And if you have hundreds or thousands, all of these screenshots must be in your Git repository, and management and maintenance could be very time consuming. And also the reports maybe are not so appropriate, and also the approval process and everything. So we don't consider these tools like alternatives to PERCY, but on the market, there are two, except of PERCY, there are two main players. One is Apply Tools, ICE, and basically Appli-tools have also free plan, but you have just 100 screenshots free for a month. So it's it's not sufficient, even I think for small POC, just maybe a little bit play with it, but you will very soon run out of the screenshots for free. But Appli-tools has some good features. For example, during your run of your tests in the framework, before the end of your test, you have the response from Appli-tools if the validation has passed or failed. And also, if you are using Java as a framework, you don't need to install Node.js. You just it's purely Java. You don't need some other tools outside your framework, like for PERCY. And also, if you want to hide some elements from validation, you don't need to write them in the code. You just in Appli-tools IS UI, you just select on the screenshot which part you want to hide, and it will be hidden. Another tool is Screener.io. It's similar approach that you have the validations on their cloud, but it doesn't offer free plan, so I haven't played with this. And now I would like to show you how it is working in the framework. I have pre-recorded it, but I will speak about it now. So yes, basically this is the JavaSecu framework. The link is at the beginning of my presentation. So you just need to clone the repository from the Git and open IDEA IntelliJ and open the project there, and it will be ready for use for you. So it's a Maven project, so you can see that it's standard Maven structure, POM XML file, and then src test Java resources. In this demo, I used Facebook application and testing a login to Facebook and then validating the page after login. You can see this is a Maven POM XML file, and here is the dependency on PERCY, which will download from Maven repository the necessary files created by PERCY creators. So it's in the root of the project. Then tests are written in Gherkin. So tool is Cucumber, and here are the steps for opening the Facebook page and login. And here you can see this is the step which is doing a PERCY validation. So imagine that you have like long tests and you want to do PERCY validation somewhere in your test. You just put this step between other steps. And it's stored, yes, here you can see feature file is in resources. If you go into this step, you can see this is a glue code. So basically the step definition, which is connecting the step written in Gherkin with the rest of the framework. So this is stored in a Java part of the framework according to Maven structure, and it is connected via this text in feature file via this regular expression. And here you can see we are creating a PERCY object from the PERCY class, which was downloaded via Maven dependency. And on this, we are calling snapshot method. And we are sending name of the screenshot, which is sent from feature file into this method. Yes, this is a framework which is using TSNG, and we have the runner here. So this is Java runner, which includes also the path for feature files. Okay, so it is stored in Java part, and it's TSNG. So here, TSNG basically is run from Maven command. So from Maven command, you run TSNG XML file, where you specify the parameters of the test, like operating system, browser, link on the application, user, and password. So if you would like to try this, just change the user and password to your Facebook user. And from this TSNG XML file, we are calling the Java test runner, as which we saw before where are all the path for feature files. There is also another version of this TestNG XML file without hard-coded values. So from Maven command, you need to send the values to TestNG, and it's suitable for Jenkins because you have just one code and you have like 10 Jenkins jobs, and each Jenkins job can send different values to this file. We will see it later when I will show you Jenkins implementation. And again, from this file is called the Java runner. Okay, so this is basic structure of the framework. So now on the background, I am changing, I will run the test, but I am changing the password in order we can run the test. And also, before we will run the test, I am now copying the PERCY token from the UI in order this PERCY knows to which account it should change or send the results. So once I have called this set PERCY token with my token, I will clear the terminal and we will continue with running the test. Okay, so here you can see that you need to run the test from the terminal, and in the framework in this feature file, here is example of this command. So different from Mac, Linux, and Windows. So set PERCY token and the PERCY token. I have done it in the background. And now we will run the tests. So here is example of the Maven command. So basically you see npx PERCY exec and then Maven install and the parameters. So I have copied it in the terminal, run it, and you can see the connection to PERCY was done. At the beginning, you can see the link to the results. It will be also at the end, and you can see at the bottom the browser in the background was opened, and PERCY connection was done. Build has finished, and here you can see the link on your PERCY build. So if you click and you are logged in, you can see the test in your framework has finished, but validation is still in progress. And now the validation on PERCY side has finished, and you can see the results. There is some difference between the baseline and on the right side, the actual screenshot. So basically, this was example how to run the test from IDEA IntelliJ when you are creating tests and debugging it. But the final goal is to run the test on Jenkins in the nightly builds. So it's very easy when you want to create Jenkins job. At the beginning, you just specify your Git repository, your credentials, the branch we are running from the master, and then this is important. Yes, in build section of Jenkins job, you have, I'm running on Windows, so the step is execute Windows batch command, and you can see that the first command is this set PERCY token where you need to add your token, and then you can see is this npx PERCY exec command, which is wrapping Maven install command, and then to the name of TestNG XML file, and we are sending from Jenkins the parameters like operating system, browser, a link on the application, and the user and password for login. So basically, that's it. And regarding the PERCY, yes, I'm not saving it because saved version of this job are the credentials and the token. But you can see this is just Jenkins running on my computer. My computer is also master and the node, but in real environment, you will have on one server will be master, and we will have a couple of nodes for running the tests. So I just click on run the build, and you can see the build is running. I'm running now on the master. And we should see in a couple of seconds that browser will be opened with opening the Facebook login page. We will log into Facebook and do the validation. So basically now in the background, At the beginning, yes, we are checking out the Git repository and doing this Maven build steps at the beginning. So as you can see, yes, it's not so complicated to incorporate PERCY tests on your computer, but yes, you need to have installed this Node.js on each node on which you want to run the test, because without Node.js, it will not connect to PERCY. So in a couple of seconds, we will see that browser will be opened. As you can see, so this is opened via Jenkins, login to Facebook, and yes, here we are doing a validation. So very simple test just to demonstrate how it works. So it was done, and job is finishing. It's creating Cucumber report. Yes, it has finished. So let's look at the results. Here you can see that very nice integration of Cucumber into Jenkins. Just you need to have one plugin for Cucumber reports, and then for each build you can see the reports. And if you click on the test, yes, you can see the results, each step which was executed. But yes, for this, you can see also this PERCY step here. But if it is green, it just means that the process of creation of a screenshot was successful, but it doesn't mean that the validation was successful. You need to check then the results on PERCY web page. Okay, so yes, these are the Cucumber reports. And in the console output, I'm just checking if there are no passwords displayed, but we will see the end of the console output that it's not there, but we will see the link on PERCY results at the end of the build. Here you can see that you have the link on the results. So we just copy this from the console output from the Jenkins build, and you will see the results. Yes, so basically here are the results, and again, yes, you can see there is some difference. You can approve it and play with it as you wish. So basically, that's about the Jenkins integration and what you need to do when you want to run PERCY tests on Jenkins. So this is the end of my demo. And so basically, yes, before we start with questions, so what could be the takeaway for you from this presentation? So maybe when you will consider your test automation strategy or the set of tools which you are using for automation testing, maybe it would be a good idea to also think about if visual testing will help you or and your team. And if you think that yes, I think the PERCY is a good alternative to start with quite a rich free plan. And you can clone my repository if you want to play with it. It's prepared, so you don't need to think about how to do it. So just use my framework, play with it, and you will see maybe it will help you, and it can improve your automation testing features or your framework. So basically, that's it from me and my presentation. So yes, if you have any questions, we can.
You can either unmute or you can use the chat, the chat window.
Yes.
Either is fine.
Chat. Okay. So yes, if you have any questions, we can discuss now. Or if you don't have the questions now, you can find my if you just on LinkedIn search my name, you will find me, and you can write me anytime and we can discuss or set up a meeting and discuss if you have any questions later or about anything, but mainly about the PERCY.
Looks like one question did bubble up.
Okay, so yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I can read the question. So do you use PERCY as more of a tool for testing responsive UI applications? If so, how do you determine which screen sizes to test? Also, what do you bench press? Okay, so yes, we have many applications on our project, and we are using PERCY just for this one application, which doesn't have complicated functionality. It's like a storage of the elements which are used for other applications. So for responsive UI applications, yes, it's responsive, but with screen sizes to test, basically, this application is just internal application, so it's not used by our clients and on different mobile devices. But you can, for example, I can open it here. Yes, so if you go to the PERCY and to some job, yes, when you are running the test, you can specify on which resolutions you will run it. So basically, you can run it. One build can run on more resolutions, and then, as you can see here, you can see the results for different resolutions, and also for different browsers. So if you have like requirements that your application should be displayed correctly on, I don't know, 5 resolutions, when you are running the test, you can specify. I think I have it also here on one slide. Yes, you can specify the resolutions also here, as we are sending it as a parameter. So yes. Okay, and also, what do you bench press? I'm not sure.
I think that's intended to be a funny question. So, big arm muscles. So, I think the ask there is, how much weight are you lifting when you're working out?
Yes. Okay. So not related to PERCY. It depends if it's the first rep or the last. So differently. Okay. Browser tools. Create different browser tools. Okay. Create different browsers to. Yes, different browsers. Yes. I think the creators of PERCY are now working on the Safari implementation. So maybe in a couple of months also Safari for Macs will be supported.
That'd be nice.
Do you know if they are just rendering the DOM in different resolutions, or they're actually running the tests in different resolutions? Basically, the rendering is on PERCY side. So we from your computer, you are just sending them the data, or how I can say it, and everything is done on their side. So I think yes, maybe they have some cloud infrastructure and it's displayed. I think yes, in different resolutions, because here in the results you can switch between resolutions. So I think it was displayed on different resolutions on their side. So I think, oh yes, on different resolutions, but maybe we need to check the documentation. But for us, it's like black box. We don't know what's happening there, but yes, maybe. Okay. But it's good that because if it would be rendered on your side, and various, for example, on your one computer, you can have one setting, on different computer, different setting, and this could cause some false positives. But if it's rendered on their side, it doesn't matter from which computer run it. It should be always the result should be always stable. Okay. So I think we are out of time, right?